is the Arabian Desert, specifically the United Arab Emirates, which is right now drying out from historic rainfall.
It's raining in the desert, and it's not a dream, it's a nightmare. Al Ain, a city known for its dry, hot climate, is now facing an unexpected heavy rainstorm. Normally, peaceful streets have turned into rushing rivers. And roads are quickly flooding, causing big problems for people trying to get around. Al Ain, famous for its green oases in the middle of the desert, is struggling to handle this sudden downpour. What does this mean for a city unprepared for so much rain? Let's explore how this tragic storm is affecting Al Ain right now and the devastating ripples it could have around the world. Al Ain's rainy revelation. Al Ain is a beautiful city located in the United Arab Emirates, known for its lush green gardens and natural springs, despite being surrounded by the desert. The city is typically dry, with extremely hot temperatures and very little rain throughout the year. But every now and then, Al Ain experiences something unusual: heavy rain. When this happens, it dramatically changes the city and its surroundings, turning the dry landscape into a place full of water and life, while also bringing a set of unexpected challenges. As the rain began to fall over Al Ain, the city braced for a rare storm that could unearth secrets long buried under its sands. Most of the time, rain is a rare sight here, so when it pours heavily, it surprises everyone. People aren't really prepared for it, and neither is the city. What usually starts as a few drops quickly turns into a strong downpour, lowering the temperature and making everything look completely different. Roads that are usually dry and dusty can become full of water, making it difficult for cars to pass through. The sudden change disrupts daily life because the city's infrastructure isn't built to handle so much rain. The city's drainage system wasn't designed for heavy rain, so when it rains a lot, the water has nowhere to go. This causes water to pile up on the streets, turning them into temporary rivers. In some older parts of Al Ain, it's almost impossible to drive because of the deep puddles and flowing water. Cars can get stuck or even float if the water gets too high, and homes that aren't built to keep out rain can start leaking or have other issues. But the effects of heavy rain aren't just limited to the city. The surrounding desert areas also change. The golden sand dunes, which usually look dry and unchanging, become darker and more compact. Plants and small shrubs that seem almost dead during the dry months suddenly come to life, turning parts of the desert green. Dry riverbeds called wadis, which are empty for most of the year, become fast-moving streams, cutting through the landscape. It's a beautiful sight, but it's also dangerous because these sudden rivers can sweep away anything in their path, including cars and people. The rain isn't just a physical change, it also affects people emotionally. For many residents, especially those who have lived here for a long time, rain is a sign of good fortune. It's so rare that when it happens, people come outside to watch it fall, taking photos and videos to capture the moment. Children love it because they get to play in the rain, splash in puddles, and enjoy the cool air. Some schools and workplaces even close down, partly because it's difficult to move around, but also because people want to enjoy this special weather event. But it's not all positive. For the city's authorities and emergency services, heavy rain means hard work. Flash floods can happen with very little warning, especially in areas where water gets funneled into narrow spaces. When the rain falls too quickly, emergency teams are needed to help people trapped in flooded areas, deal with cars that have been swept away, and manage water flowing into homes and buildings. Since the city's infrastructure isn't built to deal with this, it often feels like a race to stop things from getting worse. As the desert awakens with the rain, let's see how life bursts forth in vivid detail. The fleeting miracle of desert rains. The sudden rain has a big effect on the desert animals and plants around Al Ain. When it rains, many creatures like lizards and small birds come out from their hiding places. They use the rare water and cooler weather to move around and search for food. Even some migratory birds stop by to rest in the small pools and streams that form. The desert, which usually looks empty and lifeless, quickly becomes full of activity and color. But this change is very short. As soon as the rain ends and the heat comes back, the water evaporates quickly and the desert returns to being dry and dusty once again. For a short time, the rainwater creates small pools and streams, making the ground damp. Plants that are used to the dry conditions absorb the water fast. Some seeds, which were lying dormant under the sand, sprout quickly into colorful flowers. The usually brown and dusty desert floor starts to show little green patches and flowers blooming here and there. Even insects, like beetles and ants, become active, running around to enjoy this rare chance to gather food and water. The desert that seemed lifeless suddenly bursts into life, making it look like a totally different place. But this transformation doesn't last long. Once the rain stops, the desert sun becomes very strong and the heat returns quickly. The small pools dry up fast, and the damp ground turns back to being dry and cracked. The flowers fade away and the green patches disappear, turning back into dull, dusty colors. The animals and birds hide again, trying to stay cool and save energy until the next rain comes. What seemed like a lively and colorful place becomes quiet and empty once more. But this isn't the end of the struggle. This sudden change from vibrant life back to dry emptiness is harsh. For many creatures and plants, surviving in the desert is all about taking advantage of these rare rains. They live for weeks or even months in silence and stillness, conserving energy until the rain brings them a brief moment of relief. The rain, although short, is crucial because it helps them survive in this difficult environment. As the days pass, or even in just a few hours, the desert changes again. It goes from lively and active back to quiet and still. They are waiting patiently, prepared to make the most of the next rainfall whenever it may come. But even this patience has its limits. This wait can last for months, sometimes even a year. The animals and plants have adapted perfectly to this tough life. They know how to store water, find shade, and save energy for long periods. The sudden rain, even though it seems so brief to us, is their lifeline. It's what allows them to survive, even when it feels like nothing could live in such a dry, hot place. When the rain comes again, they will be ready. The desert will turn into a colorful, lively place for just a little while. But as soon as the rain stops, the cycle repeats itself, showing just how delicate life is in this extreme environment. So while the desert may seem empty and harsh most of the time, it's actually a place full of hidden surprises and unexpected beauty. Now let's see how the rain affects the local farmers and the city of Al Ain. When the desert blooms. For farmers in the area, heavy rain is both good and bad. While Al Ain isn't known for large farms, there are some small-scale operations like date palm plantations. The rain can help their crops grow faster, making the soil rich and fertile. But if it rains too much, it can cause soil erosion, which means the top layer of soil washes away, making it hard for plants to stay rooted. Farmers often need to act fast to protect their crops by digging small drainage channels or covering the plants to keep them safe from the rain. As Al Ain grows and becomes more modern, the impact of heavy rain is only increasing. There are more roads, more buildings, and more people, which means that any disruption, like flooded streets or damaged homes, affects a larger number of people. While bigger cities like Dubai and Abu Dhabi have already started upgrading their systems to handle heavy rain, Al Ain is still catching up. There are plans to build better drainage systems and barriers to prevent floods, but these projects take time. Until then, the city remains vulnerable whenever there's a strong downpour. The feeling starts even before the rain actually comes. When dark clouds begin to gather, people notice right away. They talk about it with friends and family, hoping to feel even a small drizzle. It's as if everyone is waiting for something unusual and special to happen. When the first few drops hit the ground, the reaction isn't just relief, it's joy. People step outside to enjoy the sensation of cool water on their skin, a rare treat in a place so used to dry heat. When it rains more heavily, the whole city seems to come alive. The dusty, sandy ground suddenly looks darker and more vibrant. Small streams of water flow down normally dry hills, and the desert, which usually looks lifeless, becomes filled with activity. There's a unique smell in the air, a mix of wet sand and fresh rain that people find both surprising and soothing. It's a scent that many locals don't get to experience often, and when it fills the air, it feels like a welcome surprise. Rain can even cause plants to grow, turning the desert landscape into something totally new, even if just for a few days. With only a little bit of water, small green patches start to pop up almost overnight. These plants have adapted to survive without rain for months, but when they finally get water, they sprout quickly. For the people of Al Ain, this small burst of greenery is a delightful sight. It feels like a gift from nature, reminding everyone that even in tough conditions, life finds a way to bloom. As the rain falls, people in Al Ain don't just stay indoors, they go out to experience it. Social media becomes filled with photos and videos of wet streets, cars carefully driving through the water, and children playing in puddles. Families sometimes even drive out to the desert hills to see temporary waterfalls and streams. Cars line up along the roadside as people step out to enjoy the cool air and take photos of the unfamiliar sight of water running through the dry landscape. Everyone wants to capture this rare moment because they know it won't last long. Next, we explore how rain challenges the city's daily life but also brings excitement. Fleeting streams. It also causes problems for the city. Al Ain isn't built to handle large amounts of water. Its roads and buildings are designed for dry weather, so when it rains heavily, streets flood quickly. The usually dry valleys turn into rushing streams, making it hard for cars to cross. Some drivers, not used to navigating through flooded areas, get stuck or have trouble driving through the temporary rivers. Schools might close, and people often decide to stay home until the rain passes. But despite these difficulties, there's still an underlying sense of excitement and adventure. However, the flooding isn't the worst part. Because the ground in this area doesn't absorb water quickly, the risk of sudden flash floods is very real. Water can build up fast, causing damage to homes and properties, especially in lower-lying parts of the city. Emergency services have to be ready to respond, and people are often warned to stay away from risky areas. The rain, while beautiful, has a dangerous side that locals always need to be aware of. But even with these risks, the sight of water in the desert draws people in, making it hard to look away. The rain also changes the way people interact in the city. For a short time, those who usually stay indoors or drive straight to work find themselves stepping out just to talk about the weather. Neighbors greet each other and share smiles over this rare event. Strangers in stores and cafes might make a quick comment about the rain, laughing about how unusual it is. Kids who normally play inside get the chance to run out and feel the cool drops on their faces. The rain creates a shared experience, bringing people closer for just a moment. Once the rain stops and the sun comes back, Al Ain seems a little different. The roads are cleaner, the dust has settled, and the air feels fresher. People go back to their routines, but they carry the memory of the rain with them. They talk about it for days afterward, sharing the photos they took and revisiting the videos of water rushing down the streets. Even if the rain only lasted for a few hours or a day at most, it leaves a lasting impact. The excitement of that moment lingers, and people hold on to the memory until the next time it happens. But this wasn't the biggest impact. More than just water on the ground, the rain changes how people see their city. Suddenly, something as simple as water makes the familiar feel new. It's a reminder that even a place known for its dry climate can have these surprising moments of beauty. It makes the everyday routines feel a little more special, showing that even brief changes can have a big effect on how we see the world around us. The rain, although it only comes once in a while, makes a strong impression on everyone in Al Ain. It's more than just a weather event. It's something that touches the lives of everyone who experiences it. People remember the anticipation before it starts, the joy of seeing the first drops, and the thrill of watching the city transform. It becomes a story they tell, an experience they share with friends and family. Even if they have lived in the city for years, every rainfall feels special. Finally, we'll see how the city returns to normal, but keeps the magic of the rain alive in memories, a symphony of unexpected life. Eventually, the green patches disappear and the desert goes back to its usual shades of beige and brown. The sun returns, drying up any remaining puddles, and the city resumes its normal rhythm. But the memory of rain, the way it made the city look alive and magical, stays with the people. It's a reminder that even in a place as dry and hot as Al Ain, nature can still surprise you. So while the rain might disrupt daily life for a little while, It also brings a sense of wonder and joy that makes all the challenges worth it. In the end, rain in Al Ain isn't just about getting wet or cooler temperatures, it's about the excitement, the change in atmosphere, and the shared experience of seeing the city transform. It's about the rare chance to see water flowing in the desert, to feel the fresh air, and to watch nature come alive in unexpected ways. The sight of water rushing down desert hills and the smell of wet sand are all things that people remember long after the rain has stopped. Even though the rain may only come for a few hours, it leaves behind memories that last a lifetime. So, when the sun shines bright again and the desert returns to its usual dry state, the people of Al Ain look forward to the next time the sky darkens and water falls from above, because they know that for a short time their city will once again become a place filled with life, excitement, and a sense of magic that can't be found anywhere else. And while they wait, they keep the memory of the last rainfall close, hoping to experience it all over again. Even artists and poets in Al Ain find inspiration in the rain. For centuries, the Bedouin people, who traditionally lived in the region, saw rain as a gift that could save lives and bring hope in a harsh environment. Today, that feeling hasn't completely disappeared. Rain is still seen as something special and is often used as a symbol of renewal and happiness in stories, songs, and poems. For people living in a city that is usually defined by heat and dryness, rain is a refreshing break from the routine of the city. Flooded roads mean delays and extra costs. Repairing the damage caused by heavy rain, such as fixing roads and replacing lost items, can be expensive. As a result, the government and local authorities are starting to focus more on preparing the city for these kinds of weather events. However, it's not easy to build infrastructure that can handle both extreme heat and sudden rain. Each upgrade, whether it's building new drains or creating better flood management systems, takes a lot of planning and money. Until these improvements are complete, Al Ain will continue to struggle with heavy rain whenever it occurs. But at the same time, the rain remains something to look forward to. A brief period when the desert blooms, the air cools, and life feels a little bit different. Overall, heavy rain in Al Ain is a rare and powerful event that changes everything in the city for a short time. From making the roads dangerous to filling the dry landscape with streams and green plants, the rain shows how nature can completely transform a place. While it brings joy and excitement to many, it also serves as a reminder that the desert, despite its dryness, is not always predictable. As the city continues to grow, it will need to find better ways to deal with this rare but impactful phenomenon. Until then, heavy rain will remain both a challenge and a fascinating experience for everyone living in Al Ain. What do you think about prioritizing investment in rain infrastructure over other urban developments? Comment and subscribe for more.